Present.
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 Thank you. Okay. Vice Chair, please join us and lead us for the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. Let's move on with call to the public. Anyone from the public? Okay, there is none. So let's move on to consent agenda. All matters listed here are considered to be returned by the Somerton Parks and Recreation Commission and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussions of these items. The discussion desired there will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Item 5.1, approval of the minutes for May 19, 2021 for our prior regular meeting.
I move to approve the minutes for May 19th, 2019, our regular meeting.
Thank you. I would like to second that motion. So with that in mind, questions, Ms. Ezra? No. Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Just for future, Mr. Cervantes, Jesus, can you actually attach the minutes? I saw the minutes actually. Okay, because they were sent to us, but can we put it like minutes attached?
Yeah, they're actually attached to the document.
Oh, the main document. Oh, I see. Because I saw them in a separate format. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so minutes are approved. We don't have any public hearings. Am I correct? And we have item 7.1, presentation of new candidate interest in joining us in the Somerton Parks and Recreation Commission, Sergio Molina. Is that you? Sergio, yeah, your name sounds familiar to me. Okay.
Good evening, Commission Chair, members. Just want to present Mr. Molina. He brought to my attention that he's interested in being part of the commission. And with that, I'll leave to Mr. Molina, see if he wants to present himself to the commission and mention why he wants to be part of.
Good evening. Thank you for hearing me. My name is Sergio Molina. I've been living in Somerton since 1996. I used to be a school teacher. I used to teach with Mr. Vasquez in San Luis Middle School and Southwest Junior High. I wasn't even aware that there was a commission, to be quite honest with you, but once I heard about it, I am definitely interested. I have two daughters that have been going to this school system here since their whole life. So one of them is already in high school and the other one's going to be a 7th grader. I'm very interested in sports and recreation, and I would, really like an opportunity to share some ideas and to try to better the the commission goals and activities for the youth. If anybody has any questions, then let me know.
No, thank you. I mean, and I'll add a side note though, is that it's awesome that you came and presented. Typically, commission members are appointed by council, so you may have to present to them as well. But no, I mean, if you do have any questions, by all means, feel free to ask as well. I mean, we can do a Q&A if you want to.
Yeah, before you join this adventure.
Okay.
Questions?
Sounds good. No, I don't have any questions at this time.
Yeah.
Just want to learn more about it. I don't know how.
Okay, so
Forum, how everything works.
sorry, it's kind of loud. So we meet once a month on the third Wednesday, and we go over items if you wish to stay and learn today to see what kind of items we discuss and what kind of activities we partake in. It would be a great learning experience to get a feel for what we do. We also meet, besides once a month, we meet other times too for activities and events that we coordinate and we plan. And so there's just investment of time with volunteering hours. And we just were involved with our community a whole lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Ms. Molina, it's nice to see you again. I guess we're long ways. One of the activities that we're planning to have later on is the 4th of July, in which we need volunteers to help us with that activity. So that will be a great opportunity for you and us to see each other in action and to start collaborating. But I know, I mean, knowing you, and you were very, very active in our school, so I'm pretty sure you're gonna do an awesome job. So I hope the city council members don't have any problems, accepting you. And from my point of view, I'm very happy to see you on board. I mean, to see that you are interested in joining us. So I hope we can have a seat for you very, very, very soon. Welcome. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to item 7.2, discussion and possible action award to Salud Guys, a donation for recreation activity. I guess you had a little presentation for us. What's technology? Oh, yeah, there is a thing.
I came in last month because my daughter dances, competitive dancing. So she won an award and scholarship, and she's now invited to go to Florida. So I came here. I did not know about this committee either, but I was told by the city council that they have some funding, that they do the fundraisers and stuff for like games activities. So that's why I came.
Okay, she's trying to set up your presentation right now.
It's a video. Right now we're so excited, but we're so stressed. I'm so stressed. Like, haven't been able to sleep
Oh my God.
for like 2 weeks, just thinking and thinking and thinking and preparing. Like right here. Yeah. she usually dances more like one with group and duets and all that, but that was the dance that actually got the first place in Phoenix.
In Phoenix.
Yeah, so that was like for us as parents, it was a good like a super thing because we were very afraid of going to Phoenix because those girls are so good. And when she won, it's like, oh my god, we're so excited. So that's also one of the reasons why we want to take her because we think that this is not gonna be like an every year thing, and it was just so good for her. I think it's she deserves it, and that's why we're doing everything that we're doing right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I mean,
Beautiful.
what a like ballet and gymnast all in one. I mean, that was a beautiful presentation. I love watching your talent. It's beautiful. Keep on going.
Okay, awesome job. At this moment, I believe we have to get the three of us together and next door to discuss the award that we're gonna be presenting you. So how do we, last time when we did somebody else, we actually went there, we come back, how do we?
It
Remember-
could be an open forum if everyone is comfortable with it. I mean, I think initially we were doing the side item before we had our policies in place, but it could be open forum. I mean,
Yeah, I don't have, okay.
so,
It's because he's the oldest member of the, the commission, so.
but just as a refresher, the dollar amounts, I don't have it in my notes as far as our.
I believe it's 100.
The dollar amounts for an individual maximum is $250, and a group is $500.
Since we've been making you wait long enough, okay, and it's obvious that they're going to be well represented in you know, in your next event, and I guess the City of Somerton is very proud of you and will be very proud of you. I would like to make a motion to actually award her the maximum amount, which is $250. I hope that little amount helps you with at least a flight. I don't know, because you're going to Florida. Where are you going? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. But once we approve it, we can expedite the process so she can have her check ready and. So, yeah, I can relate to that. When I was a coach of the Rocket Club and I took my students to Washington D.C. You're from Yuma? No, I'm not from Yuma. So very good. Keep pushing it, Somerton.
I second the motion to disperse the amount of, or make a disbursement of $250.
Okay. So I guess the motion, I did the motion second, and do you agree with it? So
For the record, we'll need to put it to vote.
okay. Let me make okay. So those in favor to award $250 to Salud Guys donation for recreation activity. Say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, got it. You're very welcome. Okay, please. Yes, and yeah, I will. Yes, definitely would like to invite you back and let us know how you did and bring us a picture so we can also have the official. You're gonna get the check before our next presentation, but since you guys will be back by the first week of July, would like to also, we usually have like a big check in which we present and all that stuff. So you know how it is. Okay, so um, for our social media. Okay, so I would like to invite you one more meeting, but this time it's just for you to let us know and for us to take that official picture. Sounds good? Okay, so our director, Jesus Mesa, is going to be helping you with the rest of the process. So on behalf of the city and behalf of the Parks and Recs Commission, I wish you the best. Make us proud and enjoy it. Enjoy the moment, okay? Because those opportunities, they are not here every day. They're very special. Thank you. Let's move on to item 7.3, presentation for proposal of new Yuma County Baseball League. Josh Reyes. Okay. Say Josh. Who's doing that? You're welcome to stay. You're welcome to go. You don't have to go through the. Oh, perfect. Okay, perfect.
Good evening, Commission, Chair, members. Just want to briefly introduce the purpose of this item. Mr. Roy brought this to our attention, the Parks and Rec Department and our Recreation Coordinator, Mr. Segura, on potential possibilities on collaborating in the near future for a league that could have a lot more pull for competitive baseball here in the city of Somerton. It would be a good opportunity for baseball clinics and other recreational activities to polish and help improve the level of play here in Somerton. With that, I'll introduce Mr. Roy, and he has a brief presentation prepared for the commission and consideration. Thank you.
Good evening, Commission. My name is Josh Roy. Thank you, Jesus, for the introduction. So really the presentation is just kind of keep me on track with some talking points. But talking to Jesus and the guys, it seems like maybe the baseball, the Little League here has lacked, I guess, some participation. And then maybe also some structure, especially when it comes to coaching. And I look at it, competitive dancing and the opportunity to go to Florida. And sir, you talked about taking a group to Washington, D.C. And those are the kinds of things that we actually want to take and be able to provide to local athletes, baseball players, and be able to get out there and compete. We understand the purpose of Little League, and we want to support that and ensure that everyone has the opportunity to play. But then also we want to provide those opportunities for those who want to go a little bit further, maybe have a little bit more of that appetite and that aperture to put that thing together. And I have some college baseball experience and then some coaching experience, Southern California, and then here with the Abbott Academy, a Yuma Baseball Academy, and then some other coaches who coach for me. And really, what I talk to Jesus about is I see it as it could be a mutually beneficial relationship because you all could use some of the structure and the help with your coaching and some clinics for the kids here, and maybe trying to get more involvement in the Little League program. And what the travel teams need here is a place to practice. So if we could work out some kind of relationship to where there are priority days and then a Yuma County Travel Baseball Association is put together. There would obviously be some logistics to it to sit down and nug out exactly what days are available and how much time and that kind of thing. I did just some like, hey, if you had this many teams, and I was really only looking at the Main Street Field and Joe Munoz. And just kind of made some assumptions on how many teams there would actually be. But the things that I see, I talked to Jesus about that really got his attention, I think, is so for your Little League program, I think what we could do is come in on some Saturdays and some Saturday mornings, like early in the season, and just run a full-on academy style practice the way we do with my baseball academy. I've got all the equipment, and I would have the coaches, and it would be an opportunity to, because most of the time I understand with Little League is, you know, you get a couple coaches in the room, and some kids are known, some kids are not known. You just kind of pull the names. Well, if you take those first 2, 3, 4 weeks, you really get the kids out there and get to practice. And one, the coaches are learning how to teach certain skills. But then also they're able to look at these kids, and then maybe you get a better balance among your teams. And you just get a lot more enthusiasm in the season. And, you know, we continue to help those coaches as they go into your Little League and mentor the coaches and kind of help them with practices and things like that. There is an opportunity for more money to come into the Somerton Park and Rec. It would depend on how the agreement was worked out between the City of Somerton and Park and Rec, but it's not beyond. I don't think it's out of the question for each one of the kids that are on the travel ball team to be required to register for, you know, the Somerton Park and Rec, just like the other kids do, and therefore they would pay the fee, etc. The difference would be you don't owe them, you know, any type of jersey or anything. There's other opportunities. We could host tournaments here. That's out of town families coming through to eating at all the establishments here on Main Street. I think it's a cool little town. I love that Main Street feel. That's football there every night. Yeah, that's kind of what I had in mind. I'm welcome to answer any questions.
I mean, yeah, as presented, I think it would be beneficial for the city, especially when it comes down to the maybe the coaching aspect of things. Because I know in the past, not to sound like I'm bashing our current coaches, because they're all volunteers, of course, right? Is that some parents often have a concern that their child is not being given the same opportunities like the rest of the team, and I've seen it firsthand. Because I do have a son that played baseball at one point, and you have that where coaches already have their all-star team, so they only play those, even though rules dictate that each player should get a chance to play. Sometimes they're put at the tail end because they know they're gonna either strike out or do something horrible. And that's some of the feedback that we've gotten from parents in the past, is that they don't believe their kids are given the same opportunities, and it just discourages them. And I think that might add to the numbers that we've seen where they decrease, because it's like, if I'm a parent and my child isn't playing or being taught the fundamentals, then why am I going to register them for a program if they're just going to be a bench warmer, essentially? You know, so that's a lot of the feedback that we've got. So I think the key point that you covered there, it'll be beneficial to the city to have some of those additional resources to maybe help build those coaches up, and players, of course, them being the primary purpose for these programs. So no, I mean, as presented, I think it has potential. Yeah, and I think it'll also add to the structure as covered. There's been times where, actually in the past, we did make a few changes here and there, but where we had players who were from professional teams, you could say, a travel team, and they were being matched up with beginning teams. So the beginning team was obviously squashed, and that also added to them not having that morale to play anymore. So
the way I see it at working is it's an agreement, or it can be one league or an agreement between two leagues, but they play separately because of exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
Because there is a specific purpose for Little League, and that's for every kid to have the same opportunity. And for those who want to go beyond that, okay, here's your other opportunity over here. Okay, let's go to Phoenix and play baseball. Let's go to Southern California. Let's go to Las Vegas.
So yeah, I mean,
yes, he's speaking our language. I mean, that's
Yes,
the thing we've
definitely.
been discussing for years, because we want equity, but we also want inclusiveness.
Yeah.
So, so you just pinned it, like what we've been discussing for years, and you know, we appreciate your willingness to support, you know, our students, our kids here. So,
Playing baseball has done a lot for me. And it would be mutually beneficial. You know, this is not to say, hey, I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart. Don't get me wrong. I love baseball. I love coaching kids. But there would be benefit both ways. That usually makes it.
Yeah, and that's understood. I mean, it's not, it should be no surprise. I mean, I guess that's what I'm getting at. So.
I also want to add that those clinics and structure, that's something we've also been wanting for a long time. You know, just all kids feeling like they're included and building their skills up. And, you know, that's something that I think that will be very beneficial to offer those clinics for our kids.
Yeah, that's my personal academy that I have is I'm approved in the state of Arizona, and I have my EIN from the IRS. I just don't have the full package of being a nonprofit. So that's going to be a nonprofit baseball academy that started here. And that would actually be a good time in the fall to start doing small clinics, you know, Saturday morning or something. Really get the enthusiasm up before we get into it.
One quick question. Are you actually offering this to San Luis, Arizona by any chance?
I think, especially for the travel teams, I think yes. So we would want, because you don't want to play the same team. You know, there's just not that many teams right here in Somerton where you can. So San Luis teams, there's a couple teams even a bit further away, like there's probably kind of if you needed to kind of thing. We had 4 teams from around here, and we wanted 2 more teams to kind of fill out what we were trying to do.
Just, I remember our heated discussions about, you know, those kids being on just on the bench, you know, waiting for that opportunity. So if what you're saying is true, then it will be really beneficial for our kids, you know, not just being a bench warmers, but actually play and enjoy the game, you know, and who knows?
Because a lot of the kids that are more competitive, they're right?
Yep.
Going out there working on. So even looking at things like even within your little league, you know, you go ahead and you start to kind of form who you think your all-star team is. Give those kids an opportunity to play a game on Saturday or Sunday throughout the year against another maybe competitive team. That way the coach is not worried so much about winning this Tuesday night baseball game. You know what I mean? What he's going to do is get this kid out there and compete in a little more competitive environment. Well, let's give him those opportunities to do that and not take away from every kid that's on the team.
I got kind of a personal experience with my daughter when she tried the soccer team, and when she was in 6th grader. I guess the other school was way much better. They scored like 22 or something like that. So my daughter was devastated. Like, oh. After that, she didn't want to try anymore for her. So I hope, you know, our kids here, they are not in that situation. So they are level, you know.
My question would be, so would we recommend consideration of city council for his proposal? The next step?
Yes, that's the idea. Well,
Yeah, 2 more slides. Yeah.
Well, we would need to work out those details and how we want it to work. One thing Jesus talked about was having someone come in and completely take over your baseball league and run it for you, run it for the city. If I were going to do that, I would need to reach out and put together. I did not really want it to be just my academy. If that's what it has to be, then I can just my own academy. It would be something some of the other guys who actually help me. So we're going to do do it that way where it's like we're running your league of us.
Mhm.
Probably put something on paper, some kind of small board. But in that case, really at that point, the only thing the city would do is promote it. Really, so you take the fields, availability of the fields, promote it, say, here it is. And there's probably just some other things that would go along with that, because it can be like city owned property. Just different things that we would have to work out to exactly what the city's responsibilities are. But for the most part, the facilitating of your league would be up to what I'm calling Union County Travel Baseball Association. Just the Union County Baseball Association. That would be one way of doing it. The other way of doing it would be you continue to do your little league as far as like registration and how you get, and all you continue to do all of those things exactly the way you're doing your personnel. And then you set up, tell us, hey, these are the days that we can give you that basically belong to the Union County Travel Baseball.
Mhm.
And then you say, okay, you can also for players clinics for these 4 Saturdays leading up to your season, and then a coaches clinic on maybe a Sunday afternoon. And then I'm going to give you one coach that's kind of side by side between your coaches. But at the end of the day, if we did it that way, whatever the complaints are, like that's still kind of like it still belongs to the league, belongs to the
Mhm.
the other way, it's going to take a lot more work because we would have to set up some type of association that would be accountable for all those complaints.
So I'd like to comment that I would like to recommend that it should be a collaborative effort between our current, City of Somerton with your corporation. I don't know what you I don't know. But for the reasons that we should also have that sustainability and the need of training our own coaches, local coaches, they need that training. And I think that's a huge benefit because they will continue to give to our kids, throughout the years. But that collaborative effort, I think, is way more beneficial than if you were to take over. And like you said, there's other logistical parts that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I'm in agreement. I think if we move forward with this, it should be a co-managed type of setup, especially with you hit the nail on the head there with complaints and feedback. In the past, I know we've had other entities come in and promote their programs as well. And one of the major concerns was that if there should be a complaint from a parent or an incident occurs involving a child or staff or whatever it may be, that there is more transparency when it's a public entity that is managing that complaint or incident than a private entity. Because when a private entity gets involved, then you have to have some sort of board and or commission internal to that entity that only answers to the entity. Where if it's still under the city's flag, they answer to the citizens pretty much.
It's
So
kind of a small step, it's a small step, and then if it's 6 months, 8 months down the road, you're like, this doesn't work out.
yeah, because
you haven't interrupted anything that you're already doing.
and some of that comes from horror stories that we've heard from neighboring communities that have managed sports programs where it's managed by a third party and incidents occur, and it's sometimes weeks or months till they receive some sort of resolution to the issue. And we don't want to give that perception that that's going to start occurring in Somerton. But but yeah, I mean, if we start off co-managing with the city, and then if we do see that there's more benefit to maybe releasing a bit more of that responsibility or those reins out to your entity, then we can cross that bridge as it comes up. But I think from the get-go, it should be co-managed. And what really needs to happen too is kind of lay out those responsibilities that the city has and responsibilities that you as an entity also have, so that there's no confusion or issues down the road. Kind of similar to what we've had with the soccer cup or the soccer tournament that also occurs.
Yes, Somerton.
So
It's not the Tower Cup.
and so yeah, I mean, we're not opposed to it. It's just it requires the legal eagles to look at it, as they say, and kind of hash it out a bit more. But the concept is good. I think it would bring benefit to both sides.
It's a good item to consider, both for the commission and the council. Having a co-sponsor meet, basically, but gathering a board to make this thing stronger. Past when it's had a board, it's had more pull, because you get businesses involved, the people are gonna be part of the commission, normally they're very involved in the community, no business people are able to get more sponsorships, and so we honestly, with the ups and downs, lack of stability, there's been a lot of ins and outs and changes in management. It doesn't have that credibility anymore. And having those characters or people that are very involved in the community can help. And of course, we would be involved with the board, with a coordinator and helping with the logistics, the coordination and promotion. I think it's going to strengthen the league. And we need people that have love for the game and that actually enroll in the league. Your parks and rec, special activities. But some of those people have that true passion for it. That's how you make this grow. And I think your dance teacher including here, and she has that love for the dance and all those genres, so that's what she teaches as well, and she's a very good dancer. Many people have that passion. It's and here we're a little behind in terms of structure. Only way it's going to grow is to get that to my view, and that's I've been through this process. Not it's going to take 10 years, and more than likely we're going to do this.
I don't think, as I listen to you describe it, like, I'm not gonna be able to come in and make anything perfect, But I think if we're going at it for the right reasons, you can see that this kind of gradual, 2 years from then, 5 years from then.
And hopefully in a better spot. No, yeah. Just one question, Mr. Roy. You mentioned that you were in the process of registering your Yuma County League as a nonprofit, or?
So I started Yuma Baseball Academy.
Uh,
I have an indoor facility.
Okay. Mhm. Mhm.
That right now in my mind that would be separate, because I want Yuma Baseball Academy would participate in Yuma County Travel Baseball.
Mhm, mhm. So by the title here, the Yuma County, I'm assuming that you are also visiting like the city of Yuma with the same proposal that you have in Somerton and San Luis. It says, no, I'm assuming that because he said for the new Yuma County Baseball League. Okay, so what do you mean by the Yuma County Baseball League? Is it you want to make this, I mean, you want to help Somerton, but also you're going to be including like
The county part of it would be
the travel teams. There you go.
You're going to pull in travel teams from all over.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
Okay, so you're gonna have like, let's say under 14, okay, some players will be from Somerton, some from San Luis, some from Yuma. Is that correct? Okay, got it. Thank you for clarification. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Saturdays and Sundays, the days of the practice time.
Mhm.
I think we probably will. Talk to Trey about that. They will continue to do that. As long as that's what the majority want to do.
Mhm.
I don't see any reason. We affiliated with what they've been playing with Calvin and the Rouse. I'll have to study up on the Bayreuth thing a little more and figure out exactly how to do it. We had the Somerton Baseball League, and our youth like
Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. So I'm assuming that at this point, we don't need to make a motion, but he needs to continue with in conversations our with the city council and also with the legalities, as you said, what is the city's obligations, what will be your obligations. So this is going to be a long road, but hopefully we can have something done
Yeah, I think it's
soon.
gonna, sure, I think it's gonna take some work. If we do it the way you guys are talking about, legalities wise, I think you reduce it a ton. The legalities become the same legalities you had. You know what I mean? At that point, it's just it's just an agreement, whether that's a signed agreement or it's just a relationship that that we do in but I do think it does need to be on paper, at least something. So you start to write down, hey, the city will be. You're still going to register players the way you always have, all those things. And then we list out the things that this is so you guys can add things to it and say we can do this. We just work through all of those things.
I think our as commissioners, we agree with the recommendation that it should be considered.
You should continue.
And like you're talking about creating that framework to present to city council.
Sure.
Jesus, what do you think about him presenting that framework to city council and how we would still be the umbrella and they would be more of the support.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's clear.
And one of our wishes here is the collaboration component, between our city and your league. Okay. Well,
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good luck. Okay. Let's move on to item number 8, old business. Item 8.1, discussion on section 2.9 of Somerton Parks and Recreation Commission, acknowledging possible appointment of 2 non-resident members, Joanna Ezra. Ms. Ezra.
Okay, so considering my conversation with the mayor a couple of weeks ago, and also the initial request of from a city council person that wanted to eliminate, I guess, that anyone that is not a current resident in Somerton was not going to be allowed to be a commissioner. I want to recommend that and based off our policy that we've had established, that there can be 2 non-resident members. I want to recommend that there be at least 1 resident non-member, and that, of course, it's still open to city council discernment of that, but that should be the fair policy if we're going to change our current policy.
Yeah, and to add input to that, I think the agenda item is worded confusingly because it makes it sound like we're asking to appoint 2 non-member residents.
Exactly.
But yeah, section 2.9, and actually that verbiage has been in place since the commission was established, that there would be a non-resident on the commission, and it depends how you look at it. I mean, if you're looking at it from a broad level to high level, one would kind of assume that it would allow, let's say, a resident from, I don't know, City of San Luis, or even as far as Town of Welton to be on the commission because of that verbiage where it is a non-resident. Now, could that happen based on this verbiage? Yes, but the possibility of it happening is very limited. I think that if we were to change a verbiage and exclude non-city residents, we would be, for loss of words, alienating those individuals that may live out in the counties, because we do have lots of people that live out in the counties that come and use city services.
Exactly.
You know, and it would be unfortunate if we went down this route where it would be, yes, it is only open to City of Somerton residents, because by definition, that would mean that you have to live within City of Somerton city limits. We do have various little county islands that are surrounded by city limits. And if we had an individual that wanted to participate in the commission, we would be excluding them. It's like an individual that lives close to the proximity of Somerton, uses Somerton facilities, uses Somerton services, should have a voice as well. At least that's my opinion on it. You know, we should not be precluding individuals by this manner. And you know, it sounds like there may be a concession to be made where we go from 2 to 1, but in my opinion, it should be left as it is currently written in our bylaws and a city ordinance. But I just wanted to throw that out there as my 2 cents. It's like I don't support the change being requested, but because ultimately we are reducing the participation that we may have from individuals that may not live within city limits, but are residents of the county that have a close proximity to the city.
You know, when the first time, when the item was brought to our attention, I was kind of well, you saw my reaction. I didn't like at all whatsoever. And yes, you're right, talking about, you know, a lot of little islands or addresses that are not within the city limits, but they do their business here in Somerton. They buy right here. They eat right here. Maybe they even work right here, okay, close to our city limits, or, you know, and so I kind of, I don't support this item either. You know, I would like to leave the original idea as it is. I appreciate everyone that is trying to join us and help us, you know, making this commission a successful commission. And I think we should leave the item as it is, you know, as we intended to. We need the help from everyone, okay? Definitely from the residents. When I was a city council, and we have public meetings and things like that, the presence of the public was very minimal. And the same goes to commission or commissions. You know, we need people to be involved with the commission in the different activities that we do, and the fundraising activities that we do, and representing the city when we need to represent the city. So that's also my 2 tokens into this. Ms. Ezra?
I think my fellow commissioners said it all. So I'm just gonna say that I agree with everything that you said. And there also an example too, like, some of us commissioners, that have lived here and then move,
Mhm.
out of the city, then they're gonna be dismissed because of that. I think is not right either.
Yeah, one of the prior applicants, she lives in Yuma, okay, but she grew up here in Somerton the whole life, and the funny thing is, um, she's right now currently taking care of her mom here in Somerton, but her address is in Yuma. So that kind of limits, as Mr. Mesa said, people that is willing to help us in the commission. Mr. Cervantes said. So I would like to make the motion to, if there's any more questions before we make a motion.
No, I have no further input. I think my stand on this is pretty clear.
Okay. So I would like to make a motion to leave this item as it is, and in this case, as we originally have the two non-resident members, to be part of the commission, hoping that this will open the door to people that live near the community or is interested in helping us. We are here also for them.
I second the motion to keep section 2.9 as is with no modification.
Okay. Everyone in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay.
And as a side note, I think it should be mentioned as well if when this item is up for discussion before council, if representation is needed, just let us know, and we can also explain the reasoning behind the decision. Because ultimately, we can be overruled, but at least if we have a voice, and that's what really matters at the end of the day.
Okay. Okay. Please let us know. Okay, I requested to include this item, the 8.2 discussion regarding the 4th of July fundraising activity and direction moving forward. Since we're now we're going back to normal and this normancy that is not so normal as it was a few years ago. But we need to go back to a community and start, our fundraising activities again. And 4th of July is one of those opportunities that we don't, I believe we don't have to let go. Okay, we need to keep it and participate. In last 2 years ago, it was a very successful fundraising activity. So we have applied for a license to actually sell beer, beer stand. And I would like to know what is your thinking on this issue. If you guys agree, so we can move forward with the beer stand on the 4th of July, and it will be at the council park. The application has been approved already, and we're gonna be having a stand right there if it is okay with you guys. So I'm planning to either, that's for sure, on 4th of July. So I need your help if you're planning to support us with this.
What was the agreement for the beer stand proposed to us? Like what for the fundraising percentage?
I'm assuming it's the same as it was 2 years ago. I don't remember the exact percentage. But it's the same. The same.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in support of it. I mean, 4th of July typically is our biggest fundraising event. Going off of the question that Commissioner Israel had, I think we should, like last year, have it documented so that there's no confusion or questions down the road as to what percentage is allocated to the commission and what percentage is allocated back to the city, if anything, or so that it's. I mean, yes, I always tend to be the one that pushes legal the paperwork and stuff like that, but I mean, it's better to have it than not have it. It usually avoids headaches and issues down the road, but that would be my only recommendation. And also to once again go over review responsibilities, roles and responsibilities, what the commission is responsible for, and what the city will be providing. The biggest one being security and ID checking. That should technically be done by, I guess, the on-site security that's there, not commission members, because we're not.
When I spoke to Brisa in matters of that, there will be actually when we apply for it, she actually submitted that there will be the presence of police officers, during the event and where they're planning to be. So in this case, we're going to be having, I guess, the help of the city in matters of supervision, okay, and maybe helping us with ID our customers. Okay.
I propose if we can get like a schedule of volunteer hours where we can sign up to do it, and then just clarify with Brisa about the logistics of how, like, the ID checking and who's gonna be working the station besides the commissioners, like a schedule, and then share it with us, and I know I'll sign up. And we can make sure we reach out to the commissioners that are absent too, and our other volunteers that can, but let's look at the logistics first.
Yeah, and that goes back to the roles and responsibilities aspect, just so that we don't go in blindly, because technically we fall into that pseudo. We are a vendor / external party, so there shouldn't be assumptions made as to that. Oh, you guys should have already known that you need this or that. So
in this case, the application has it has both of our names, Brisa's and mine. So I guess we're gonna be in this together, like much better than the little stand that we have. Believe me that.
But no, I mean, as far as idea is concerned, I mean, I am for it. I'd like to see maybe a scheduling item sent out, because I think I'll be able to assist for maybe about 4 hours or so.
Okay.
Unfortunately, but nonetheless, I'll be there.
Perfect. Okay. Then I will contact Brisa to provide the schedule and yeah.
I do want to just remind everyone, there's been events where we've done, like for 4th of July, actually it's 4th of July, where they were having us check the IDs. I think we did it together. You and I, we were there, we were checking the IDs and doing everything, like, and they kind of left us because they were utilizing the city workers to attend to other booths, which wasn't the original plan. And so I think that was not okay, and I want to avoid that as well, just like Jesus mentioned.
Definitely, I will try to sit with Brisa and clarify those issues. But because of the time, 4th of July is only 2 weeks from now. Jeez. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. When she presented this to the state, I mean, there was already the plan that there will be some. The state will not approve something like that if there is no layout of who's going to be helping us in matters of security.
We want to make sure that it's
followed.
It's going to be that way. We want to see it ourselves so we can participate.
One thing to consider too, and I just remembered it as you guys were talking, is that we need to create signage. Because I know, I think, was it last year? I think it was at Petapalooza, People didn't know what we were.
Oh, yeah.
We had the inflated
Yeah.
beer
Beer keg.
item there, but
Mm.
I think we should work on some signage that can be
Yeah.
done by us, but just as a recommendation, so that it lists the pricing and that adult beverages are being sold there, so
Yeah.
that there's no confusion.
So that
I agree.
I actually spoke to them, and on the last event that we have on April, they put a signs actually. The vendor actually brought the signage
Okay.
and the price and everything, so we were very clearly identified that we were there selling the beer.
Okay.
That's a good idea,
Yes.
and I hope it repeats. Yes. Okay. So then let's move forward with the 4th of July fundraising activity. I don't think we need to make a motion because this is in the process. Okay, so you plan to be there? You plan to be there? Let's see
Yeah,
what the
we just-
schedule.
When can we have like the information from Brisa?
Basically, I guess the question is, the event will take place from what? From 5 to 10, from 5 to 11? What's the midnight? From 6 to midnight? 5 to midnight. Okay. I believe it's on a
4th
Sunday.
of July?
Yeah, 4th of July, no, 4th, actually 4th, which is a Sunday, I believe.
You want to volunteer?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I might be taking my daughter to a basketball tournament on July 3rd. So unfortunately.
Yes.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you.
this is a beautiful event. A great opportunity to actually be in front there. Okay, so I guess then I will contact you guys for your hours, and I will try to actually pass that info to Brisa then. Okay, so please forward me what time you can be there.
5 to midnight.
At what time? Yeah, what hours you can be there.
Mhm.
Also, I will try to write you my hours, because most of the time I'm being there the whole time. If it's needed, then I'll be there the whole time. But you tell me how many hours, and we'll take it from there. I will create a little document, a schedule, and Mr. Molina, the same thing. We're almost done here, but I'll give you my number so you can contact me, and then you please let me know what hours you would like to volunteer. That's perfect.
If you want to make a note, I'll be there from 5 to probably 8:30ish, only because I'm a stickler for checklists. I just want to
Okay.
make sure everything is correct.
Perfect. Oh, okay. Then that helps me a lot. Would you like to make your mind right now or later?
I'm looking at my calendar for July 4th. I haven't. That's Sunday?
Sunday, yes.
Okay. I'll be available at 5 as well. I'm not sure how. I probably won't be able till midnight, but I would do probably 3 or 4 hours. So
Okay.
okay.
Mhm. And usually, when the business picks up, it's after 7:30 is when they start, when the
Maybe
music
I'll come
starts.
in
Yeah.
at 6.
That'll be great. Yeah.
I could do since this was
Mhm.
coming, but I want to know I want to know what I want Brisa to tell you who's gonna be at that station.
Mhm.
It's not supposed to be just the commissioners.
Yeah.
So I want to know who's going to be there, and they're supposed to be there the whole time. So we need to have that information, and
Mhm.
also what are their responsibilities,
Mhm.
and what will be our responsibilities.
So in other words, do we have like Securitas or one of those, like 2 years ago when they helped? I remember we have one of those companies that provide the check and everything for us.
Mhm.
Maybe if that's needed, then
Yeah, the other thing is we need to identify who the cash holder is going to be, because they need to sign for the cash box.
Mhm. Yeah, we just need. She can give you all logistics.
yeah.
She just tell her that's what we need. Yeah.
Okay.
you want to add, Jesus? Mesa?
Yes. um,
Mhm.
Yeah, we need that. That's a great idea. How can we order it? Like we'd go through you just to order it? How do we do that? Okay,
Okay. Mhm.
that's good. Because I mean, that's how we need to advertise that
That
we
is correct.
exist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Molina, how do you know about, I mean, who told you about our commission? Did you read it, or Facebook, or?
No, Jerry and I am.
Oh.
Carlos and I am.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, so it will be great opportunity for also for us to display, that we are there as a commission. Okay.
Mhm.
yes.
Mhm. At this moment, I guess since it's not in the agenda, it's hard for to make that request. But how can we? Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Mhm. Okay, since I'm planning to visit tomorrow, I may visit and I may pay a visit to your office tomorrow, so we can go for because I don't know the measurements. I don't remember the measurements of the canopy. Okay, I'll give you a call tomorrow.
Since the funds will be dispersed, it'll have to be taken to vote. You don't need to identify a dollar amount, but it does fall within the umbrella of discussion
Oh,
regarding.
you know what? Yeah, it's under the fundraising activities, isn't it?
So it does fall under that. It's just that we want to identify
Yeah.
an amount to be dispersed, but
Mhm.
we'll still have to put it to vote just for the record.
Yeah,
since
yeah. You're right. And since it is item number 8.2.
So I make a motion to approve our participation in the City of Somerton's 4th of July event and also approve for the acquisition of at minimum, a 5x7 banner to identify the commission at the event.
At the 4th of July. Okay, I'll second the motion.
And
Mm.
yes, I agree.
Okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. That's since it is. No, I know, but I said since the item is in the agenda and this is a discussion, yeah, that's the best way to go.
Mhm.
Makes sense. I know we're not done. Okay. New business. 9.1, discussion of possible purchase of new voice recording device for commission regular meetings. Mr. Jesus Cervantes.
It's kind of awkward because I can't see you.
Mhm.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the commission. As described in the item, I would like to start researching better technologies to keep our minutes. As is right now, we do keep an audio format of our minutes, which are then transcribed by our historian and secretary, Commissioner Israel. But it tends to be very tedious, as expected, because you are trying to decipher what is being said, and audio may not always be the best. So I'm requesting a ability to start researching this item, also to possibly be reaching out to City of Somerton IT. There is technologies in this auditorium that could be used. So that may be a discussion to be had with them, especially when it comes to the audio and video aspect of things. As far as transcribing, that could be a separate item, but like I said, this is just the research phase of things to see how we can better our ability to keep minutes, so that if a member of the public or even us wants to go back and review what was voted on or what was discussed, it's easily available and attainable. That it's not us having to jump through hoops to get it in a written format that is then uploaded to the agenda website. Plus, at the same time, I don't want to reinvent the wheel. If there's already technologies in place, why essentially waste time in trying to research it? So, like I said, this is just a research phase. It's starting, kind of similar to the other initiatives that I've kind of pushed forward to make things better. So, at this point, I'll open it up to questions. I mean, I know it's not a whole lot to really work on, but that's really my direction at this point, is to research both ends of the spectrum, whether it's us buying better equipment to include a mic, or seeing what resources could be provided by City IT, if any. I will add, though, as part of the microphone that was identified in the agenda item, that would also be used for, that could actually be a separate request to be used for our remotes. Sometimes we do Facebook Lives out in the field, you could say, and quality isn't always the greatest. So that would also fix that situation where you don't get the muffled effect where you can't really hear what they're saying, you know? So it's multifaceted, but at this point, I want to focus on the minutes aspect of things.
Thank you. I totally agree with you. When we're trying to, on the Christmas event that we try to promote that and do live, yeah, the wind was blocking your voice, my voice, and it was not a very clear audio. And definitely we need to have something in that nature, because it's going to be helping us a lot with the minutes, you know, and sometimes I understand the position of our secretary historian, Ezra, you know, trying to be part of the conversation and at the same time trying to write, you know, what we're saying. So by having our minutes recorded, it will actually help us with that problem. So I guess we need to continue, you know, searching for possible, for prices, for, I guess, vendors, or how can we get into this so we can have something, you know, a video recorder right here.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like the Mercedes-Benz or Cadillac of microphones. We are, at least I envision something that is useful and not overly expensive, something that is in the middle of the road. I do also want to, I don't know if this is the proper forum, but also to see if it would be a conflict of interest for, I do own a firm that does IT consulting, if we would be able to just donate that equipment to the commission. But I do have to check legalities of that since I am a commission member, what conflict of interest that would be. But nonetheless, if I can go down that route or not, I will present a viable solution for the commission. Because that's what I guess pride myself in doing. If you give me a problem, I will fix it. But yes, it's to relieve all undue burden on our secretary and historian at this point, because we just want to make it easier to have those records in freely available.
So I guess it's, I mean, once you said those magic words, you know, donation, I said, that will save us a lot of time. So yeah, but let's see what the legal department has to say. I mean,
yes,
you know, it's like, it shouldn't be a problem. And as a matter of fact, because the fact that we're donating our own time also into this, man, come on. I mean, this is.
But ultimately, nonetheless, like I said, whatever route we take, we will have a solution. So I guess
we have established that we need to have we need to record our minutes. That's for sure. Okay. Do we have the means right now? Yes and no. I was actually looking at some of our prior meetings through YouTube, and the audio was not that great. My voice sounded like it was muffled, like I was speaking behind a wall or something like that. So it wasn't that great. Okay, so it's not a very, very reliable source. But if we have a recorder device, City Council actually, they do have someone right there taking notes. And the other board that I see, we do have someone actually taking notes directly. Okay, what we're saying. And I remember once we tried Google technology, and it was not a very pleasant experience when we say something. We have to be very careful what we're saying, because sometimes on the transcription was not exactly what we were referring to. So I said, that's not what we said, and let's go back. And so anyway, so definitely let's visit this item again then, and by then we should have a much better clarity if it is okay to accept the donation, or if we need to move on and disperse the money to buy the recording device.
Yeah, and it would be on behalf of my firm, not directly from me. So I don't want to make it appear that I am greasing palms or gears anywhere. That is not my intent. But nonetheless, I should have a status update by next meeting to see what route we can take and any viable solutions. Because as mentioned, it could be something as simple as a microphone just to record, or as you kind of touched on, we could have an automated AI note taker. But when you start going down that route, you have to train the AI to recognize your voice. So you have to read a couple of sentences so it knows your speech pattern. Because ultimately what I'm trying to say, let's not overcomplicate it. Let's try to keep it as simple and straightforward as possible. So,
understood. I understand that, because when I bought my electrical car, I had to make sure that my car understood what I was saying, dialing. This is the person that I'm trying to dial. Okay, so I know what you're saying exactly.
Any other questions from commission or city?
No, I think.
Okay. With that being said, thank you for your time.
No, thank you. And the need is there. Let's solve. We have a problem. Let's fix it. Okay. Item 9.2. And one of the things that I want to say is that when someone actually shares the enthusiasm, okay, that means we're in the right direction. And when we start bringing this issue of possible art event for the city of Somerton, and I see that now Joanna is really excited about it, and so I want to hear what she has to say. So let's go for item 9.2, discussion of possible future art and wine tasting event.
Okay, so our future art and wine tasting event that we've been planning on for pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic, yes.
Something that we've discussed with Jesus numerous of times, and numerous of times we've been really excited to try it out, but we just haven't had the opportunity. Well, I think we're finally at that place where we can start planning it. We're projecting in November to have a wine tasting and arts event here in Somerton. And my last conversation with the mayor, he suggested the perfect place to do it, because we were wondering, where should we do it? And he suggested also Council Park, and we're like, oh yeah, that makes
Centennial
sense.
Park.
I'm sorry, Centennial Park. No, Council Park.
We were the Centennial, isn't it?
No, Council Park, the one right here where the tower's at.
No, that's Centennial.
Oh, sorry. Centennial Park. Yeah, it's the one where the tower's at. So, and then we're like, oh my gosh, that is because it's really nice. It has like the garden feel, and there's different areas we can set up. Our participants are going to be like musicians and artists. We already talked to some local artists, and I'll let Francisco elaborate on those local artists, because they've actually participated in previous events before, and we attended one
Mhm.
here at the 85350. Was it last month we attended it?
Yep. Mhm.
And so we got to talk to some of our artists and see what how we can incorporate them in our event. And then there's also other artists that we happen to know that we want. We're talking about like having music, so live music like guitar, live music, just a variety, maybe even piano if we can get a piano here. But just kind of make it a very elegant event, I think. But we're going to have wine tasting and also beer tasting and hors d'oeuvres.
Yep.
So, go ahead.
No, I just want to say that when we visited the event at the 85350, one of the artists there, I forgot her name, but she used to be a commissioner for the Parks and Recs like 10 years ago, and they tried to do something like this. Okay, and they said, our biggest mistake is that we for only wine. So we incorporate also beer and beer tasting and wine tasting. That'll attract more people. Okay, but speaking to different artists that were there, they were really, really supportive of the idea. Yeah, it is time that we need to have something like this. Local talent, artists. We have the college. I spoke to one of the art professors at AWC, and he was like, he said, like, definitely that will support you there, because some of the students, obviously from Somerton, they need a place to represent the art. And then COFA has also an art club, and they do also, have some students there. So there is, it matters of finding their local artists. I don't think we're going to have a problem. It's just the logistics of it, okay, having everything there. Our mayor has suggested us that, let's, as the same as our city manager, let's sit together and let's have a talk and see how can we put this, what plans we have and what plans we have, and let's check dates and coordinate things together. So I think we're in the right start. Now that we're going back to normalcy once again, this event should be one of our signature events. Hopefully, that we can make this
every year.
And when our director Jesus actually joined our programs, you had lots of ideas to also bring art to Somerton, and I'm in the same way. Yeah, we do have sports, but we're lacking that other component for the other people too. So I guess, culture, very important. Our sense of belonging, our sense of being, can be established through that route. So inclusive, there you go, including everyone.
Yeah.
So at this moment, I guess I will say that there is nothing formal. There was somebody from Budweiser that contacted me, and they had a person from Tucson, Arizona, that actually specializes in this kind of events. And I didn't want to actually talk to this person until first I get your token into it. You want us to continue, Jesus? What would you like to see moving forward, or we stop it right here? Same as Mr. Mesa, what would you like to see? And I personally would like to continue with our dreams, I guess. But this is, I guess I'm requesting green light to continue with conversation so we can start moving forward.
It seems like the pressure's on. You're relying on two Jesuses to go ahead.
Well, I'm surrounded by Jesus.
No.
What would Jesus do?
What would Jesus do?
No, I'm on board. I think all of us, Mr. Mesa included. I mean, we started talking about an event like this over a year ago now. Fortunately, due to COVID, and it just became not doable. But in those discussions, we have covered where there is that art cultural and historical aspect that Somerton can really highlight and shine in. It's that it's never been really reeled in. And I think in the past I've made the point that, nothing against the entities that host it, but Somerton is typically just known as the Tamale Festival or Corn Festival town.
Mhm.
Aside from that, it's just a pass-through community. You either pass through it to go to San Luis or you pass through it to come to Yuma. And even the latter there is not even anywhere because people go through the Mesa to go to Yuma now, or take the Souris Highway out to Arabi. But nonetheless, we want to really highlight Somerton. Somerton does have a lot to give. We have a lot of local talent. I mean, I've been to several other events that the city of Yuma hosts, and there are some individuals from the city of Somerton that are highlighting their art, but they don't have that same, or at least from my perspective, that same opportunity to do it here in their community. So I mean, this is a great step forward in building up that art, cultural, and historical aspect to the city of Somerton. And I know it'll play a lot into also some of our branding, marketing, and bringing entities into the community. Because I know from the community development side, a lot of people complain that they want Starbucks, but I mean, sadly to say, they'll never come to Somerton because there is nothing that really highlights the people of Somerton. I mean, data talks, and unfortunately, the data paints our community as just being a small community that's a in-between town, and it is primarily, I guess, not a opportune location for businesses such like that. So going down this route, I think it'll help in many aspects, not just from the Parks and Rec side. It'll have ripple effects positive ripple effects across the board. So no, if I'm understanding the question, yes, I am for it. I mean, I would like you guys to pursue it and see if we can make it happen. And I know being the first one, there may be little hiccups or not, but nonetheless, it is that first step. You know, to get a ball rolling, you got to push it, and this is that push.
There you go. Thank you. Mr. Mason.
I may add, yeah, the Parks and Rec department is all for this. Part of the work plan. I propose as a study. Fortunately, cities of advanced agreement that didn't like the now we're here, hopefully, we will move forward. It's gonna have to be a joint effort. Since I have two staff, I don't have a recreation coordinator or cultural center coordinator, which is something that the commission has decided. The commission's work, because that's the only way to start the cultural programs the right way. Having the person concentrating on that. You can't have two recreation folks running leagues, pool, and monitoring the culture center and expecting one. But that's the way we're operating, and that's the way we can make things work as best as possible. This event will come with collaboration from the culture center, basically recreation staff. Lisa, she's transferring to economic development. I'm sure she's going to help in all means possible. We need to basically have collaboration between the culture center.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm seeing that we can promote our programs within, right? So like our folkloric, for example, could be promoted and they can participate, and also we can promote, we can have an MC and announce, you know, this is a program offered here in Somerton, blah, 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 you know, the information. That way we promote what the programs in our, right?
Yeah, my goal for that one, I hope we have art program started before the event, so you can be in the presence and participate somewhere from how we have an partnership. Begin looking for one. Honestly, the culture center for our focus right now, they're extra. They're on the extra neighborhood of things. And so it's one of our priorities. We care little bit out of our reach at times.
Mhm.
Somebody that has that passion for art, it's a resident or not,
Mhm.
but who wants to promote art here in Somerton.
Perhaps we may invite Ms. Salud Giza for this event. I mean, for a beautiful presentation, you know, if it takes place. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, that's a wine tasting, and oh, that's my daughter. Yeah. Really? Yeah, we actually we discussed about it because we had a prior event just a few weeks ago, actually 2 weeks ago, and I don't know if you or I we brought it up. Okay, so there is an empty lot that they're going. They're gonna let us know if it's going to be available for that. That's what we need to start actually moving forward
With the city manager,
with
we
the
were
city.
talking with them about it.
Yeah, because we brought this
Yes.
issue of the parking space. I mean, our event that we attended was a small event, and I actually parked. But well, look what happens in the tamale festival. I mean, we always have the same issue with parking space. I live like 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks from here, and you can see cars park at the Joe Munoz Park, which is like 5 blocks from here. So if the event is a success, you know, obviously.
We also discussed like someone or people, I mean plural, also traffic control, like directing traffic to the parking spots. Because I mean, yeah, we're gonna need space. So we talked about that big open space as one of them, and then we'll probably need another one. We have to identify parking spaces, and then we can have, you know, that traffic control.
That's why we kind of we've been invited to speak to our mayor and other also directors on safety, for example, you know, because the traffic has to be redirected, or we may, you know, they're gonna let us know the logistics of it.
Yeah.
So, and we do have actually that little window between November and December before the Tamale Festival.
Yeah.
Or, you know, so
and
that's
the
why.
corn festival
And the
too.
corn festival.
We have to work around that too.
Yeah, so that's why. Well, yes. Mm-hmm.
I request budget for 4 cultural
Events.
events for the year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
And we do have actually, hopefully we're gonna raise enough funds for also help with some of the expenses if needed, you know, like security or what, I mean, you know, checking having someone to help us check, and, you know, since it's gonna be wine and all the process of this. Okay. So thank you very much. So let's continue with this discussion on our next meeting. Okay. We do have actually one addendum here, 10.1. Discuss and possible action to review a donation to Somerton Mets Baseball Club. And I guess you're gonna be speaking on behalf of Mr. Roldan. Yeah. You're busy today, Mr. Mesa.
Good evening, Commission Chair, Vice Chair members. Just want to communicate that Mr. Jesus Roldan, member of the community, he requested this item to be added as an addendum. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to be here to provide further details. I know that the intent is to request a donation for a team that's going to represent Somerton in the regional tournament. It's going to take place out of town. I don't remember the exact location, but they recently won the state championship, which was hosted here in Somerton not too long ago, about a week, I believe. And they beat a very competitive team from, I believe, Scottsdale. And it's their trip to the World Series. That's where they would compete against teams from all over the world. And they've been in that situation in the past, and they were unfortunately able to get there, but it was a very close game. So now it seems that the team's ready to take the next step and go all the way. And it's a good opportunity because there's teams from all over the United States on those regional tournaments, similar to the Little League World Series that we see on ESPN. They do it once a year, and they always bring a team, and there's always a 14-year-old pitching with a 12-year-old certificate. They caught him once, I believe, Dominican Republic, not to talk bad about any other. But it's a good competition. There's excellent level of play, and that's what they're preparing to go into.
See, the thing is, I was watching this movie about this Monterrey team. What is the name? There's an old movie.
Yeah.
Just like a few days ago, actually. And oh my God, when I saw this, man, definitely. I mean, the kids, those kids, the troubles that they had to, problems they had to overcome and all this stuff. So anything helps. And wow, Little World Series. I said, I wonder if it's taking place in, not, I want to say Prescott. No, it's not Prescott. I knew the answer, but I forget where.
Yeah, it's they're affiliated to Cal Ripken. That's the association running this tournament. And it's a very well-recognized association named after the Hall of Famer Cal Ripken, shortstop from the Orioles. Yeah, so that's for your consideration. And let me know. What do you think?
Out of curiosity, is that baseball also?
Yeah, sure. Baseball.
This is Milton. Yeah, he's one of our coaches, and also, very active. And yeah, Jesus has been, a coach for how many years now? 20, something like that, more than.
Yeah.
The reason I asked is I think I remember these softball girls. I wasn't sure if that was girls softball or baseball.
Yeah, he's been with that team for quite a few years, and they're called Somerton Mets. Most of the kids are here from Somerton.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We had a clinic with Juan Busto, also very supportive. Not member from Somerton because he lives here, but he, lives in San Francisco, but he came all the way down here to support our Somerton Mets, and the kids were amazing. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, she's talking about Baseball Sin Fronteras, a nonprofit organization based in San Francisco, California. Well, okay, since this is in the agenda, I guess then we don't need to go into.
No, I mean, it's just an addendum, so it's still an agenda. So it'd be treated like any other agenda item. So at this point, we open it up for a motion.
And when is Jesus planning to take his team to the tournament? By any chance? Oh my God, Ernesto Russia. Okay, so we have to move faster than if we want to support them. Well, since I know, especially my two colleagues here on my right and my left, you guys have been helping me with fundraising activities. This is what we work for, to give back to the community. So definitely I would like to help the Somerton Mets Baseball Club. And hopefully they will bring a trophy so we can display in a Hall of Fame. That's one thing that we need to have, actually. A little Hall of Fame here, but that will be for a different.
That's a good idea. It's a different topic.
Yeah, that's a different topic. Yes.
For next month.
That's the beauty of actually the commission. We work on it, and the need is always there. It's just that during the pandemic we couldn't help a lot of clubs and people. And that's why it's so important that events like 4th of July, that we continue supporting it so we can raise some funds. Okay, because we have seen the need, and the need is there. And this is another example that makes me very proud to be part of this commission. Being able to help others. Okay, so that's my little.
So
So,
motion.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to disperse the maximum amount for a team of, which is at $500 to the Somerton Mets Baseball Club, so that they may pursue, hopefully, bringing a trophy back to Somerton.
Yes.
Representation, because being out there, it does highlight Somerton, whether it's sports or the arts. It brings it back in, and it brings back that sense of community pride that it's a lot of people when they envision our area of Arizona, they just know Yuma or San Luis. I've even been in meetings where they know where Gadsden is, but they don't know where Somerton is. So that's kind of despairing sometimes. But no, I guess, like I said, I'll make the motion to give them the max donation that a team would get of $500.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion in place. So those in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, that carries. Okay, and I wish, please make sure that you tell Mr. Jesus Roldan good luck, and I know he's for sports. He is really highly competitive, so I think has a very good chance to. That's why he's trying to go there. So just deliver the good news. Okay. Item number 11, summary current events. Let's start with our director, Jesus Mesa.
We started a cleanup campaign, cleaning up the contracted food from the area from the department services. They did an excellent job alongside our staff, and we did a cleanup of PD, safety building, the ethical part, the food detention areas, and we started the yard over there at Public Works. So they did a lot of labor, but it's shown between vital areas and some things. It's a great rest too. We want to do more, but of course the funding is doing so. But it's a really very good collaboration. That's it.
Not short this time.
Yeah, I had a lot, but
now you left me speechless now. No, I see that from my window, that since I live across the Joe Munoz Park, they've been working really hard into that. I like what I'm seeing. Just some of my neighbors there asking me, why is fenced? I said, well, because now, sometimes we're trying to avoid, the kids are playing there, the basketball may land into the street, and, just to avoid an accident, basically. Yes, yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. But I like the paint that you guys put actually on the cement. Now it looks, it's what it's kind of. I was hoping something more greenish. I don't know, like.
Green is too dark.
Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Future agenda items. Before I move on into this, current events, Mr.
Current events, quick update. Our social media presence is increasing. I know it's very small, a small footprint, but It is increasing almost every day. I don't have my graphs like I usually do, but yes, I mean, all of our interactions have been organic. We don't do the paid items, which is good. But no, I just wanted to mention that our social media presence is growing. Most of it is we do cross post with City of Somerton. For the most part, it is automated. So the moment that a post does come up for City of Somerton, it'll post to our page as a share. So I did work out some of the bugs with that. And like I mentioned, every share that we post does garner at least 3 to 4 new likes from individuals. So it is growing out there. I do have a plan for our website coming this upcoming fiscal year. But as far as anything else, I don't have any other current event items.
Please, Joanna and I, we kind of visited los perritos. Los perritos park. I didn't know that she's kind of guilty having that name on that park. Los perritos. Yeah, they call it. Yeah, no, it's I noticed that now the city is kind of working more often in Los Perritos Park. Looks better. It's just that we noticed that in one of the Perritos Park, there's the one on the south and the one on the north. The one on the north doesn't have actually those plastic bags for collecting the poop, for better words. And the one that the dispenser that's on the south part does have a dispenser, but didn't have any bags. And we were just visiting there. So if you can help us with that. But in matters of the Joe Munoz, I'm extremely happy that I've seen how the city is working, and Parks and Recs is actually early in the morning now working really hard to have her. And the changes are there. The lighting actually now is not anymore that dark because the lighting is much better now. So awesome job there. And Miss, for current events, anything?
Just the wine and arts festival, just that we need to continue our planning, or I guess get the green light first from city council, right? And then start having probably a working session, a working meeting besides our monthly meetings, because we need to start planning now. So I've just that recommendation for us to start working.
Okay, is that for future agenda items you want to put on the agenda then?
I'd like to continue it for future agenda items, but like now till next meeting that we have a response from city council, whether yes, we can do it, what date can we do it? And then that way we have a month that we can still start reaching out to our local vendors and artists and all that, because it's going to take a lot of preparation. Okay.
Oh yes, a lot of planning.
Yes.
That's why. That's why we are kind of pushing this. So,
yes.
If needed, yes, please.
Yes, please. As soon as possible. Thank you, Jesus.
Okay, so items for future agenda items. Let's start with Mr. Vice Chair Jesus Cervantes. Anything for future agenda items next meeting?
Yes, it'll be the update on better technology to keep minutes. I mean, so I should have a preliminary update on that. And then by then we should also have hopefully a few more new commission members.
On board.
Probably get an update on that if it hasn't occurred. So if we could expedite that. I mean, I know we have 2 interested individuals that have submitted letters already, maybe a third. But yeah, just to get that ball rolling as well, so it doesn't fall in between the cracks.
Are you going to be in charge of welcoming our new commissioner? You know, as you guys did with me, the eggs and everything. You know?
No, we don't haze people.
Okay.
Those were the old days.
Okay.
But aside from that, maybe also I noticed one thing, as maybe it could have been a current events item, but the trash cans at Council Park at the skate park area, it seems like kids are dumping out the recyclables to put the trash cans as jumping stations.
Mhm.
And it's funny because some of them actually record themselves doing it. It's on Instagram. But if I don't know, maybe look at finding a way to maybe secure them so they're not movable, or in the sense that like when I go and change the air quality flag, I think it was like 2 days ago, they dumped out one of the recycle bins and there was water bottles everywhere and newspaper and stuff like that. But if maybe we could research maybe a way to maybe secure them or find a way that they won't pick them up and dump the contents out in the park, because it does make it seem messy. And it's only in a skate area. I mean, I know it's not all skaters. I don't want to come off as being that way. But I know it usually takes one bad egg to ruin it for everybody. But aside from that, no, I don't have any other recommended agenda items.
Miss. Oh, you said okay. Okay. I would like to see a little finance report for the next meeting, please. Has been now those more than 3 months that we don't hear from that department, and hopefully those 2 items will be already accounted for, the 500 donation and the $250 donation. So will be our finance report. And I would like to also, if you can help us get a new flags for the Arsenal Department of Environmental Qualities. Our flags are kind of fading in color. You have to, okay, look at the one that I have at Joe Munoz. It's like a monster came and took some bites out of it, and I mean, it doesn't look that very professional. So probably I don't know if it's through your department or do I need to contact the ADEQ for the new flags? And definitely, please, in the agenda, let's keep the art and wine tasting activity to see what was the wish of the council and if we're gonna continue. So those will be my request: the financial report, new flags, okay, and the art. Mhm. That's it. Mhm. And I forgot to mention about I haven't forget about our video about the pet safety. Okay, so I just need to, so maybe I'm gonna wait until the confirmation of, so you can be famous in our community. We're trying to make a video about safety and pets, okay, and basically the importance of picking up after their pets, you know, because we noticed that some people is not yet with that mentality. They want to have a pet, but they don't want to, you know, be responsible for the leftovers of their pets.
You know what I was thinking?
Mhm.
Because right now it's too hot to really, I don't even walk my dog right now
Mhm.
in the parks. I was before it got really hot. Maybe we should wait till after the summer to do that one because that will be more relevant.
Mhm.
Because people aren't really walking their
Yeah,
dogs around. You
yeah.
can't, it's not safe for the dogs to walk them,
Okay.
their paws. it's too hot.
Yeah, we kind of have a little script there already. That
And I can volunteer my Juby to come out as the star dog.
and my dog too. Anyway, so anybody else and for the good of the order? No? Okay, right now it is 7:57. I promised my wife that I was going to be there for dinner around 8:30, so I guess I'll be surprising her. Okay, so let's adjourn this meeting at 7:59. That's my motion. Oh, 7:57, yes. That is my motion. Will you second my motion to close right now? Okay, thank you.
Motion.
Okay, those in favor to adjourn at 7:57, say aye. 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 Good, close.